Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cheryl Technology Channel. My name is Chris, and I'm your host today. And today we are going to be looking at what is a home network, or a network specifically. If you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ, reach out to me in the comments if you need prayer for something or somebody you know or somebody you love. Let me know that too. And everybody, if you don't know him, reach out to me. I'll be glad to teach you all about him. And let's just get right into this video. So in this one, it's a part of my CCNA series, and the reason why is because I wanted to create a video on home networking or a network. What is it? Because a lot of people hear the term network, they don't really know all the pieces. So that's what we're going to do today. Now, the first step, I had Gemini, as you can see here on the screen, generate an image of, I had Gemini generate an image for me. And the image it generated was of a home network. Now, this may vary. My network ain't nothing like this. I mean, nothing. Mine is nowhere even close to this. But it's basic. It represents most homes. So at the center and the forefront of everything, you have the router/modem. So this is where, if you have a fiber connection coming from your ISP, such as Allo, Spectrum, Comcast, Windstream, any of those types of devices or ISPs will have a router/modem or individualized. So at my house, I have a separate modem and a separate router. I have separate things. So I have a separate router and a modem. And my modem is what takes the fiber and converts it over to, or coax, and converts it over to Ethernet, right? So that it can plug into something on your network. Now, all a network is a way to communicate between computers or devices. That is literally all it is. It's a way for things to communicate. And at this point, I mean, it's got pretty complicated at this point. And there are multitudes of routers. There are multitudes of them. So I decided to go get some. So I actually have a router. So you see the antennas right here. So you'll notice on the back, here, let me get the microphone. You'll notice on the back, you have a yellow port over here. That's your WAN. So that is what plugs into the modem. Remember, the modem converts from fiber or coax to Ethernet. That's what it does. It's a media converter. And it converts so it can plug into here. And then plugging that in gives you access to all these. Now, internally, there is separation between this port and this port, logically. So logically, there is a separation between these two types of port. One port is WAN, and the rest are LAN. So LAN means local area network. WAN means wide area network. So these four ports here will connect on the inside of your house to all your devices. And that is represented here in this picture as well. You will see in the picture, there is a modem/router here, and then you have a TV, say a smart TV through Wi-Fi, but which they can be wired. I wire my smart TV. I don't like using Wi-Fi for stuff like that. You have well, that's not a MacBook, because yeah, it is. It could be. I got one back behind me, so it could be. Then you got a phone. I don't know how. I mean, you can hardwire phones to the network. You got to have a USB-C cable for that, and it's got to be you got to have a dongle for that. So you can do it, but Wi-Fi is easier. And so basically, this is how a network works. This is so that individual devices can talk to each other, right? Or talk to another device on the internet somewhere else. Now, that's what I want you to understand about the router. The router is one of the most important inventions of our time. And the reason why is because a router routes between a local and a public network, or two broadcast domain. Here, we're going to keep this here for a minute. So this one, I got at Goodwill for $10. I haven't hooked it up yet, but I'm going to implement it so y'all can see it. Right now, I'm using a Unified Gateway Pro 4. That's what I'm using, which is end of life. So I got to do something. But I got this device because I wanted to do something that's simplistic and do something that's very easy to really do, because I want something that's really simple. One other thing I want to run by you real quick is I have in my network, one day I will make a diagram of my network so y'all can see it. I mean, it's pretty complicated, but it's not complicated. It is, but it isn't. Once you understand what I was thinking and the structure that I was going for, you'll understand why I did what I did. So basically, I have, let's go to a program. I'm going to just draw my network out real quick. Eraser.io, one of my absolutely favorite programs. Shout out to my man Typecraft on YouTube for that. He's the one that told me about that. Let's see. Let's create a blank one. I reached my file plans limit, so let's just do this. Holy moly. Okay, we're just gonna delete all that because I already did this one. So you're about to see why I like this program. So at the forefront right here, we're gonna say this is my Unify Gateway Pro Gateway Pro. And basically, this is the head of everything. Now, my network is set up a little different. You will see that in the video I did yesterday that I uploaded, wherein my DHCP server is not here, but rather in my QNAP, like that. Okay, so then coming off of this Gateway Pro, we have a switch, and this switch is a Dell N2048P. Now, all the switch does is it takes, now this is, my network's a little more complicated, but at its basic foundation, it's the same exact principle. You have a cable running from here to one of the ports on this N2048P, and this N2048P, it is using that port for all the traffic to come from this switch to go through the router, right, to go to the outside. Now think of your house. I've done a few videos on this where I talk about broadcast domains in my house, and I'm yelling and hooping and hollering and doing a bunch of stupid stuff. But you will see in that video that I am trying to explain a broadcast domain and how it works, okay, right? So you're in the living room of your house, and when you whisper, somebody in that room can hear it. But if you go into another room and shut the door, you can't hear what's being said. That's what a broadcast domain is. So think of it as separation between networks, and that's exactly what is happening. You are a broadcast domain that means that only the devices in that domain or subnet can communicate. That, and I'm probably going a little too far for y'all, but what happens is this is, oh, my network is so good. I love it. And then you have, so like, let's say over here we have my computer. This is a Gigabyte RS. No, that's not how you spell it. ORUS. There we go. RS Z690, I think is what I have. I think that's what my motherboard is. And so there's a 2.5 gig NIC on this device. So technically on my network, it's a little different. I have another switch right here. It is a QNAP, I think it's a QNAP 2.5 Gbps switch. And what this does is it enables me to, so it connects to here, and then there's a port coming from here. This is like completely separate, but there's a port coming from here that goes from here to here. So do y'all see the kind of the traffic? So the idea was this. Oh no, that doesn't go there. That's not that. No, we need to remove that. No, so basically here, let me move this over here. Here we go. So this right here, this piece goes to here, and then this connects to here. Now, I know this looks complicated, but it's not. There's basically a black switch that is sitting in between my computer and the QNAP box. And the reason why, this is what the basic fundamentals of a network. This is what it does. A network allows devices to communicate with each other. That's all it does. That's literally all a network is. And so you can see in this image that the QNAP is connected to the switch. My computer is connected to the switch. The reason why is because if I use this switch, I can get 2.5 gigabits per second of transfer speeds of throughput through that switch going directly to my NAS. So basically this switch is the intermediary between these two devices. Did you hear what I said there? It allows these two devices to communicate with each other. The switch does. That's what a switch does, right? Okay, so a switch, it's for connecting devices together, right? On a single broadcast domain. Now, I'm not going to get into all the details right now of how this works, but maybe in later videos I will, because it is my CCNA series, so my road to CCNA. So it is kind of relevant that you know it, but for right now, we're just going to say this is how it's done. So this connects to here, the Unified Gateway Pro 4. And the reason we like that is because the N2048P is the intermediary between the devices, all devices. So all devices can communicate because of that switch. Now, what's interesting about this, if you look at this image, is that you notice there's no access points. Well, I do have some. So we're going to put those in now. Boom. I got 2 of them. Let's see. I got one right above my head. I think I named them AP1 and AP2. Now, one of them's upstairs, one's downstairs. And basically, I've got them set on low power so that they can reliably talk to devices without overlap, at least too much anyway. Because if you have a lot of overlap, it'll cause even more issues. And so you have, let's say I got my MacBook here, which I've got it hardwired, but there's my MacBook. I've had that MacBook for a long time too. So we got a MacBook, and we're just going to draw an arrow from here to, Oh, come on. I love that. I love this program, man. Thank you, Typecraft, for showing me this, for telling me this. So the MacBook goes to there, and then you got, let's say over here we got an iPad, my wife's iPad, and then we're gonna do that from here to here. Okay, so and then these have a hard. Where do you think these go? Yeah, you're exactly right. These go to the switch. Now, why is that? Well, the reason why is because you, without any connectivity to the switch, you have no connectivity to anything else. So the switch is the primary connection device for all other devices. It connects everything together. That's what a switch does. And so you have a basic home network wherein you have your gateway, which is your public to private, or private to public, whichever way you want to say it. So it's your it goes from one broadcast domain to another, because think about the public internet. That is considered a completely different broadcast domain, and it's public. So think about that. That's how this works. And so you have this device connecting to the Dell, the N2048P. The reason you need that is so that you can connect multiple devices to one place, one broadcast domain. That's why you do this. And so, everybody, this is my network. Basically, this is how it is. And then I have a few other devices, and I'm going to show you that right now, because I think it's important for me to go over all this stuff with you. This way you can kind of understand why I did it the way I did it. Okay, so right there. And then here we have a Raspberry Pi. I actually have two of them. Berry Pi. And one of these is running a program called TwinGate. Now, TwinGate is a VPN. I'm not going to get into that, but that's what one of them does. Now, the other one, I mean, I could say that I remember, but I don't. I don't remember. This is basically how this works. Now, typically, you will have the DHCP will be on the router, but the reason I did mine this way, let me explain, is that I wanted a way to communicate no matter whether the network was down or not. If they have an IP address, they can talk to each other. And so that's why I did it this way, is I wanted the DHCP separate from the router so that I could have things work the way I wanted them to. Now, if this confuses you at all, reach out to me in the comments, because I really want to teach y'all this stuff. I love it. Networking is my favorite thing to do. I love it. Absolutely. Okay, servers I like too. I kind of like it all though. But that's why I wanted y'all to see this from a perspective. So think of this switch as a broadcast domain. Everything within this switch, right, can talk to each other if it's in the same VLAN, but we're not going to get into that yet. Basically, this is one VLAN and everything can talk to each other. It's one broadcast domain. And so everybody, I hope y'all have a good understanding of what a network is now and how it works. I mean, you have a public side, a private side, and a house, a public and a private. And those public and private side talk to each other via a router and a modem. You need a modem from the ISP and then a router to route traffic between you and the ISP. That's what a router does. Routes between broadcast domains. Everybody, I hope I didn't give you too much. I mean, it was a lot of information, but if you got questions, just reach out to me in the comments, because I really want you to understand this. I want y'all to love it as much as I do, because I started my career in networking, or in IT really, several years ago. I've only been doing this most 4 or 5 years, and I have come a long way since then. But I studied really, really hard in the beginning, and I spent most of my time studying, hours and hours and hours, and middle of the night and mornings, but I love it. If you love something like this, you will do it no matter what. You'll find time to do it, and you'll find a way. So I hope this makes sense to y'all. If it doesn't, reach out to me in the comments, and I will be glad to explain it more thoroughly. Or if you want me to do a separate video on something specific in this diagram that you see here, let me know, and I'll be glad to do it. Everybody, thank y'all for watching, and until my next video. But there's one more thing we forgot. We didn't forget. If you don't know my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, reach out to me in the comments. And if you need prayer for something or somebody you love, I will be glad to pray for you. Ask my boy Damien at IT Unicorn, or bootableusbs.com. Reach out to him, and he will let you know that I will pray for you, because I did for one of his friends. And everybody, thank y'all for watching. And until next time, peace.